But who?
Not sure yet, but at least we're on the trail.
Did you have some other business?
Director, I checked out that murder. Nilkin didn't do it, but there's proof that he meant to.
This is unfortunate. We're trying to give the people a sense of stability, leadership they think they can count on. And we're setting precedent for justice here in Andromeda. Now this, a convicted murderer who didn't commit the murder.
These things are almost never black and white.
I know. If we suppress the evidence and uphold the conviction, we're banishing a man for a crime he technically didn't commit. If we throw the conviction out, we're freeing a man who tried to take matters into his own hands, then covered it up. Your investigation complicated this. You should take responsibility for the outcome. Do we still exile him for murder?
He intended to kill the chief. He pulled the trigger, believed he'd done it. Banish him.
Agreed. Sometimes we must rule with our hearts. I hope my conscience will be as clear as yours seems to be. Well, at least we'll have the sordid business behind us.
Must be great to see all your hard work on display.
Maintenance crews, please report to the commons area. A violent illness related to...
It is harsh, but
Carry
I
light
didn't
fruit
intend to do
brought back
it.
from Habitat 7.
Opportunity list prompted by someone else doing it before he could.
No, it isn't what we wanted, but what choice do we have? How the hell should I know? Spender.
You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more focus on research, like on prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure. Pathfinder.
How are we doing on the viability front?
Struggling. Need I remind you that viability isn't abstract, it's lives, our foothold. Get out there, Ryder. Pathfind, we're dying.
I have info on a specific sleeper I'd like brought out of cryo.
I want to avoid that entirely. For reasons.
Reasons, that's it?
Look, you're the Pathfinder. If you've a request for your extended team, that's a request you can make. Access the sleeper records through Brecker's console. It's none of my business. Until you make it a problem for me. Understood?
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Hello, Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Breca, C-63 Galati. Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
You're kidding?
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow. I deal in full colony blocks of specialists. I can make individual requests, but we should start the overall system first.
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, a lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs. And eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
Alright, Brekka. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
If you want to have a start, recon is the way to go. I'm gonna need finance as well. One moment, I'll be right back. These are pretty good. A balance between this and between all three is going to be needed, but that mining operations is going to be useful too.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Yeah, it's up to 82%.
Pathfinder, AVP leveling continues as per your directions. And of course, the interface remains accessible for any future adjustments. Sweet protocol and process. Now we're living.
Why'd you join the initiative?
I was a teacher. A good life. I could see the positives and negatives right through to the end.
You did the math and it said come to Andromeda?
No, I just didn't like being able to see the end. Here, I don't have a clue what tomorrow will bring. Feels more like living.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Pathfinder?
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
That's it? You'll just do it?
Nowhere in my job description does it say, argue with the Pathfinder. That said, I record all interactions. If something you ask for causes trouble, there'll be no doubt that you're responsible.
I heard that the chief engineer on EOS went back into cryo.
There have been a few such requests. The first few months in Helios were disheartening.
Now that Prodromos is on track, I want her redeployed.
Chief Engineer Grace Lito, designation E97 Durango. Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
Why do some colonists have a number letter designation?
All initiative members do. In the CV file somewhere anyway. It isn't relevant when everyone is doing everything. I suppose it's like caring about a middle name. Do you not know yours?
I wasn't aware I had one.
You were in select company, even before you were made Pathfinder. Rider Pathfinder, specialist designation A03 Malapa.
Something interesting?
An A and low odds. Someone's an early adopter.
What's your take on the state of the initiative?
Please consult the AVP interface. It has a thorough breakdown of your progress.
And your personal opinion?
Your progress thrills me. Make my job obsolete, Pathfinder. I dare you.
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
Let's keep this between us. Here's the info.
Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
Another time.
Pathfinder.
Cache reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Superintendent Cash reminds everyone. All power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. are due within the hour. Top scientists have few answers. The dark energy anomaly known as the Scourge limits travel and communication in the cluster. This is HNS.
I know we slept for 600 years, but right now I guess...
Welcome, traveler. How may I assist?
Tell me about the Pathfinder headquarters.
The Pathfinder headquarters is located within the Operations Center. It will proudly collect the work of our daring explorers for years to come. It is also where Director Jaren Tan oversees the initiative.
What do people around here do for fun?
Due to resource constraints, the Nexus's recreational venues are limited to the Vortex. The Vortex is a social establishment where colonists can gather to relax or enjoy a drink. Please remember, consumption of alcohol while operating machinery or piloting spacecraft is strictly prohibited.
What's the Cultural Exchange Center?
The Cultural Center is intended as an educational venue for any new alien species we meet. By teaching them about the initiative, we hope to foster an air of cooperation and understanding.
Tell me about the tech labs.
Initiative scientists are hard at work in the tech labs, analyzing data and samples acquired within Andromeda. The resulting information is then used to further initiative research and outpost creation. Please be aware, access to the tech labs is restricted to essential personnel only.
What goes on in hydroponics?
Hydroponics is an essential element of the Nexus's life support system. It provides the station with vital oxygen and food supplies. Feel free to stop by and see our botanist, Dr. Camden. He always enjoys speaking with visitors.
That's all.
It has been my pleasure.
Top
Sure.
scientists
Let me
have
know what
few
materials you
answers.
need and I'll
The
find
dark
them.
energy anomaly known as the Scourge. An expedition to Hughes, the Pythia system, discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling...
They were really clear about it.
Noted Astari scientist, Pelisaria Baseo.
Wouldn't it be more practical to build these vaults on the surface?
If you will.
Nah, Rachni engineers mastered underground construction a millennium ago. These remnant fellas probably had the same idea. Wouldn't mind a seismometer reading, though. Sam, any chance?
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math homework.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Pathfinder, those bioscans are superb. Could you gather more for our comparative conservation effort?
What conservation effort?
Ah, my thesis is on the console there. Broad strokes, we're comparing and preserving organisms from both galaxies. If you donate more bioscans and samples to the catalog, I can get you a finder's fee. Tempted?
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Gian Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Okay.
Great. If you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus. But I want to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them.
What are you planning to do in this galaxy?
Great question. I'd be worried about that too. I can assure you, we have no hostile intentions whatsoever. We're pilgrims who simply want to live in peace. We're eager to learn about new cultures, new ideas, and share our own with you. But we understand trust needs to be earned, no matter what galaxy you're in. And the initiative looks forward to doing just that.
Why did you leave the Milky Way?
I get that question a lot. Many of us have a deep curiosity that needs to know what else is out there. Our own Milky Way is just one tiny speck in a universe full of mysteries. And speaking for myself, the thought of exploring those mysteries in Andromeda was a call to adventure I could not resist. Thank you for taking the time to listen. On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers, we couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for all of us.
The Nexus is a place of friendship and cooperation. We're glad you could visit.
Pathfinder, I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
How did you get this job?
I was a sociologist in the Milky Way. While there were plenty of cultures to study, the books on them had all been written. There was nothing new I could add. So when I heard about the initiative, I signed up right away. The idea of meeting new people, seeing how they've evolved, adapted to life's challenges, I couldn't resist.
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas. They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
Have you heard anything about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
Thanks.
Of course, our hope is that you'll make friends in the cluster and send them our way. And when you have a second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask.
Don't hesitate to speak with one of our friendly peace ambassadors. They're happy to answer any questions you may have and eager to learn more about your own culture.
Greetings, inhabitant of Andromeda. I'm a Solarian. I'd be pleased to tell you more about my species.
Okay.
Solarians are considered among the brightest scientific minds of the Milky Way. We're known for our quick thinking, technological savvy, and intellectual powers of deduction.
Where do you come from?
Solarians originate from a world known as Surkesh. It's a tropical planet covered with oceans and rainforests. As an amphibious species, we're at home in Surkesh's lush jungles, but with our technological advancements, we can adapt to nearly any environment. We look forward to studying the wonders of Andromeda and the rich diversity our galaxy has to offer.
What's Solarian history like?
Cooperating with the Asari, we were the second species in the Milky Way to help form a galactic government, the Citadel Council. From time to time, we also guided other species, such as the Krogan, to better channel their natural gifts towards worthy pursuits. It's our belief that the careful application of science and intellect is the key to improving the quality of life for all. It's been my pleasure. Rest assured, the people of Andromeda have nothing to fear from Solarians.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative.
Hello there. I'm a human being. If you'd like to know more about my people, just ask.
Have a look around.
Okay.
Good to hear. Humanity is a diverse species. You may notice different skin colors or religious beliefs among our people. Yet we don't let those differences come between us. We'd rather celebrate our diversity, rather than fight over it.
Where do you come from?
Humans come from a planet called Earth. It's a beautiful blue world, with everything from oceans to jungles, snowy mountain peaks to deserts. It's also an oasis of biological diversity. Scientists calculate Earth contains nearly 9 million unique animal and plant species.
What's human history like?
Humanity is a young people compared to many of the other Milky Way races. We didn't discover spaceflight until much later. But what we lack in age, we make up for with enthusiasm and a pioneer's spirit. We'd like to think we can teach our fellow travelers a few new tricks. I'm glad you stopped by. Next time you see a human, ask about ice cream. It's one of the many great things we bring to Andromeda.
Welcome, native of Andromeda. My people are known as Asari. It would be my pleasure to tell you about our kind.
Okay.
Very well. Asari are the oldest civilized race in the Milky Way galaxy. Among my people, diplomacy and cooperation are prized over war or conflict.
Where do you come from?
Asari come from a planet known as Thesia, which many consider the crown jewel of the Milky Way. It's a thriving world blessed with prosperity and peace, and the center of the largest economy in the galaxy. With the high concentration of element zero on Thesia, Asari evolved powerful biotic abilities. It is considered a hallmark of our species.
What's Asari history like?
Thousands of years ago, we played an important role in founding the Citadel Council, the seat of government for our home galaxy. In the ensuing centuries, Asari placed great value on cooperation and collaboration. Many species look to us for leadership and guidance. Due to our lifespan, sometimes reaching 1,000 years of age, we are patient in our decisions and prefer long-term solutions over short-term gains. Farewell. We look forward to forging new bonds with our friends in Andromeda. The wisdom you share is our reward.
Don't hesitate.
Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a Krogan. Are you interested in hearing more about my people?
Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay.
And eager to
Of course you are. We may look scary, but don't let that worry you. It comes from living on a harsh world. We're a species that knows how to thrive, even under the worst conditions.
Where do you come from?
An ugly rock called Tachanka. No sense lying. It's not a planet most people want to visit. We had predators, nasty weather, and not much else. But it gave us our identity, forced us to adapt and evolve. Everything about us is built for survival. How many species do you know that have a pair of spare lungs just in case? Or 4 testicles?
What's Krogan history like?
Colorful, you might say. Growing up in our neighborhood, only the toughest survived. That usually meant a lot of fighting. You'll hear stories, so no sense covering it up. We once had a great society, but I'm ashamed to say, we squandered it. It's why a lot of Krogan are here in Andromeda now. They're the smart ones, the ones looking for peace and a fresh start. Thanks for chatting. We're all looking forward to meeting our new neighbors.
I'm Jen Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the next...
It's an honor to meet you, citizen of Andromeda. My people are the Turians. It will be a privilege to tell you about them.
We hope you'll enjoy
Okay.
about the rich diversity...
Turians are a highly disciplined race who value service to others. No one places personal needs ahead of the greater whole. Public works serve as a focal point of our society. We believe it's our duty to better our species.
Where do you come from?
Turians live on a planet known as Pala. The atmosphere's weak magnetic field shaped our evolution into the life form you see today. Our signature carapace, the hard exterior shell you see on Turians, is actually metal. It protects us from the intense rays of Palaven's sun.
What's Turian history like?
The history of my people is proof that peace eventually wins out. Disagreements among species turned into lasting friendships. When Turians first met humans, There was a misunderstanding between us that could have had disastrous consequences. But with patience and restraint, humans and Tyrians eventually joined together in a mutually beneficial partnership. We look forward to doing the same in Andromeda. The pleasure of meeting you has been mine. One that I hope other Tyrians will soon enjoy.
The Nexus is a place of friendship and cooperation. We're glad you could visit. Don't hesitate to speak with one of our friendly peace ambassadors. They're happy to answer any questions you may have and eager to learn more about your own culture. Hi, I'm Gian Garza, founder of the initiative. Welcome to the Nexus. We ask that you spend a few short minutes going through immigration processing. We'll have you
Hi.
on your way.
Gil Brody is your engineer, right?
That's right.
I'm Bailey. I used to work with him in the hangars here. You wouldn't happen to know if he's available, would you?
Depends on what you mean. His duties keep him pretty busy.
No, I mean like a... Oh, never mind. Just, tell him I said hi, huh?
In order to expedite your entry, you must already have obtained medical clearance.
Stayed home.
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
Going well, I hope?
As well as it can go with limited resources, yeah. Tiny steps.
Should I apply for an outpost?
Ryder?
A violent illness related to cherry-like fruit. You're listening to Agent...
Still missing some parts.
Hi.
Damn it.
A reminder that alcoholic beverages must be consumed within private...
So how'd things go?
The materials you found were perfect. If you got more, we'll take it all.
I need to keep some on reserve for engineering repairs, but I can have another batch sent your way for sure.
The human Pathfinder has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on Habitat 7 in the Eric.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
Right. I get a feeling the testing will be interesting.
Don't worry. Dutch may complain a lot, but he's loving it. And he's the best chemist I know. You're in good hands.
Just when I've balanced the air mix, another Yahoo has to come wandering through. Aren't you the Pathfinder? Dr. Camden, head of hydroponic sciences. Mind the seedlings.
Bye. Enjoy your gardening.
Botany.
Sure.
As sleepers wait for stasis, the initiative usually requires blood. Fallout from the recent uprising.
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
We ask that you refrain from picking foliage in the Nexus Commons area. The consumption or sale of any plant specimens is strictly prohibited by hydroponic regulations.
We can start building a bank of vaccines. Once Ryder or by will.
It's that scourge I'm wondering about. That recalling radiation shield and ambulance. Right? Hey, Hirik, how about you not dissect things over lunch? It's weird.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around. We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity.
Welcome to the Cultural Exchange
from the Milky Way galaxy.
Please have a look around.
You are looking at an image of the Milky Way, the original system of the colonists now arriving in Andromeda. Home to countless life forms, the Milky Way is a galaxy where friendship and peace are held in the highest regard. Those arriving in Andromeda bring with them this spirit of enlightenment. They look forward to making your acquaintance.
Don't hesitate to speak with one of our friendly peace ambassadors. They're happy to answer any questions you may have and eager to learn more about your own culture.
The human Pathfinder has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on Habitat 7 in the Erickson system. Ryder's daughter has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest in the ongoing search for a home in Andromeda. This is HNS.
I'm sorry, Lana. They're just trying to keep them around.
Apex residents are please check your duty roster for important updates. The initiative founder was killed when the Nexus hit the
How many times have I told you this story?
343.
Wait, what? You've been keeping count? Rusha,
Pathfinder,
that's not
I believe
funny.
you found the culprit responsible for the power shortages.
Alert Professor Hirik to come secure it.
Any logistics updates? A ray of hope for sleep-starved residents. Maintenance begins on malfunctioning subway, causing Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Residents are still mourning the loss of Gene Garson. The initiative founder was killed when the Nexus hit the Scourge. An official tribute is planned, though Director Jaren Tan has provided few details so far.
Without Gene, we wouldn't be here. But now that we are here, we need to focus on surviving before we can celebrate.
This is HNS.
You, Pathfinder. I have a word or two for you.
Is there a problem?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem. We're all paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place. Now she's dead, and we'll all soon follow.
This might be my dad's mess, but I will clean it up.
Talk about ego. You're no different from him. You think you could do this all yourself. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Species are at odds as talks break down over a unified curriculum for initiative kids. The Asari say they'll wait it out until demands are